Hi folks, and welcome back for another fly tying tutorial. What you see in the vise is my version of John Horsey's carrot fly. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise then is a Hanak H230 barbless hook. This one's at size 10 and it's on a medium wire in black nickel. The thread I'm going to be using today is from Semperfli. It's Nano silk, it's at 12.0, and as you can see it's a fluorescent orange colour. Now, as always with the Nano silks, first thing we're going to do is get a tiny spot of super glue onto the shank of the hook. Now, the carrot fly is what I would refer to as old gold. Now, I got in touch with John Horsey actually because I thought it was him that tied the fly, and I checked with a couple of the Bristol boys, and sure enough it's a John Horsey fly. So I got in touch with him, and he told me that actually it was Clive Perkins that named the fly. So he showed it to Clive, and Clive said that looks like an effing carrot. So that's where the name comes from. Now, I'm sure I'm not going to tie it exactly the same way John does, but this is just how I would tie it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a rib on this, and I'm just using some fluorocarbon, 4 pound, doesn't matter what sort of breaking strain you use. Now, before I tie this in, just off camera, I'm going to bite the end just to give the thread something to clamp down on. And I'm also now going to add some wax to my Nano silk. Now, the carrot fly, I did ask John about his preference to fish in it, and he said he always ties it on a size 10, and it's more an indicator fly, if you like, for fishing dries. So he would always fish it on the top dropper, and he would have behind that a Bob's Bits or a small hopper from size 16 to 19, and the carrot fly here would be used in an indicator. So if that carrot fly does anything that it shouldn't be doing, John would lift, and sure enough he'd be playing a fish. Now, I'm going to use some orange seal's fur for the body. John says that the best colour he's found is claret for this fly. To be perfectly honest with you, this is a fly that I had many years ago, but it's kind of been replaced by flies like the Midas and the Big Red. But after a fairly lengthy conversation with Tony Baldwin, I think I might revitalise my boxes with a few of these. He still finds it really useful to have. So I've really dubbed down hard on the seal's fur here, and I'm going to bring up my seal's fur to approximately 1/2 centimetre from the eye of the hook. Then I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more to the fly, and creating that carrot effect. So I brought that in. I'm going to pull everything back. I want quite a lot of room at the front here to tie in my wing. So with the fluorocarbon then, all I'm going to do is bring it up like a rib in the opposite direction that I wound my seal's fur on, and bring it up to where it will meet the thread. So I'm going to do 2 or 3 turns to lock that into place, and then get everything out of the way, 2 or 3 turns in front. I can then come in with my scissors and remove that. Now, I can see why such a big fly like this would be a very visual way of fishing. So the wing, I'm using some cock cape here. As you can see, it's just a ginger cock cape. I've already selected a feather. Now, what I want to do is just show it up to the fly, just so I can see where I want my hackle to start. And I'm going to take this over to my wastebasket and just leave about 1/8 of an inch to catch the fly in. I'm then going to dress that up and catch it all the way along to the stalk. Then I can bring it to the bottom. Again, I'll add just a little bit of beeswax, not to the eye of the hook, but to the silk. And then what I'm going to do is just bend it back so I break the spine. It's now standing at a 45-degree angle from the shank of the hook. And then using my fingers, I'm going to bring it round, and after each turn I'm going to slick it backwards on the fly. Now September is a month that can really produce some excellent dry fly sport, and this method that John uses, using this as a sort of indicator with small Bob's bits, tiny hoppers off the back, can be absolutely lethal in the month of September, and it's always worth bearing in mind. Now as I bring my hackle up towards the eye, I'm going to bring my thread over to catch that in, and then once I'm convinced it's caught in, I can slick everything back with my thumb and forefinger and just work on building a nice tidy head. Now as I say, probably not John's exact dressing, but this is how I used to tie it in the past, and with a lot heavier thread. Nano silks nowadays just help you create much neater work. So I'm just going to take that away now, and I'll come in with my whip finish tool. And simply cast off my thread. Now there's a bit more to go on this fly. I'm going to just use some Solaris bone dry to finish the head off, but if you prefer to use head cement, super glue, it really is your choice. I would recommend that you get super glue that doesn't leave a residue, so a lot of the super glues that you get go white. I've found that this Loctite's very good. It doesn't lose its clearness. You know, you don't get that white residue. So I'll just cure this off. And the last part of the puzzle, if you like, is to just scruff out the fly with your dubbing brush. And I've got one here. I'm just going to come in behind my hackle and gently tease out some of the fibres, and then what I'll do is I'll load that up with some floatant, and it'll go straight into my fly box. Thanks very much for watching. If you're getting value from the videos, please remember to give them a like, and I'll see you all next time.